Take a bima. Baran can tell me who is Baran? That's the question. Who is Baran? Why do you say that we are in 4 states out of the 6 states in the Niger Delta? She went for that to say, what happened? Why did you refuse to stay in one place? That's what his daughter of Baran wants to know.
Nobody can tell our stories better than we do. So in Arugbo, we said we migrated from Baran, and many other places, many other clans migrated from Baran. So where was Baran? How come? How did we separate all of a sudden? And Baran, we have Baramatu, we have Arugbo, and we have other clans. What happened? Why did we separate?
Opu egberi ke mgba am but batim seipo ke mama tu do batim kereza mo kereza be ku ba karaza mu doda ko be karam ge karam we ware wiri ku mo bien baga sai ku mo sai pe la fao ba ma to ma na mini me Izo ya don gbara ya don do no ba bi mi to ma gba bian go sai kwa la fa o take an tu ebe kama sa me na do bo zo nimi imumu ni ga me nimi pa do bo za me nimi mumu ni za kwa me nimi do bo za kwa me nimi ba ta da ko mo ne kama do wa bi de ne te za ga me do bo ma ga bi a ipe me nimi bai Metekrim. Ogbegriga memio. Ogbegriga mdobo akpakirikem. Dana izaba ogbegriga temena manu evena. Owori ge temena ma ogbegriga mga temena emi o now. Owori ge temena mam. Ombogbeda am ogbegriga mountain. Ogbegriga mga mountain. Meme ogbegriga do akpakiri lai mi. Akpakame ogbegriga ma fai. But come to me take be mede. It is a good double meve. A balm in you. I go over it about clean. Yanagua. Omo Yanagua be a bag barre. I go over it about clean. Yanagua. But I'm about clean. Uncle do so all right to me. The Bibles in the banataba. A front. Oh, we are clean la. We are do bo mo gbegiri la gbegiri do bo ope lai mi keme bi de na mi ti agri mi ba te ba mu ndo mu ni a bara arugbo go mu ndo mu ni egbe ma go mu ndo mu bo da go mu ni mi o e mo gba kara ti aye mo me na body ye bi agba bo mi lai mi be do bo so pe mi ni mu o e be mu nu so pe ni mu o gba Apam kwa krem. Na apam kare. Take am bima. Baran ka tell me ke who is Baran? That's the question. Who is Baran? And why do you say that we are in 4 states out of the 6 states in the Niger Delta? She went for that to say, what happened? Why did you refuse to stay in one place? That's what a daughter of Baran wants to know. And because history is the study of the past, present, very important event, history of personalities, their contributions, so that they can use them to take decisions to live well tomorrow. We are going to try and tell them what our forefathers handed over to us in what we call oral history. IJAW people have not been too endowed to get archaeological evidence to corroborate our oral assertions. But we'll try as much as we can to tell our story. Because these stories are told from generation to generation, sometimes through covenants and traditional oaths. And so our ancestors and the village chronicles, who are historians, never lied. Because they told the stories under oath. And therefore, the man called Bana, I am saying something here. When we look at the man, when we try to analyze who is Bana, we sometimes doubt whether it's the name of a mortal, a human being, or a spirit. And I'll tell you why I say so. But because we were not there, what we are saying is what they told us, what the ancestors told us, what they told us in dreams, what we read in book, what we use, what we call historiography to analyze. That's what we are saying. If not, sometimes we are tempted to think that the man called Bana is not a human being. Or, better put, the man called Bana has different names, appellations, titles. Let's go by Onaru's account. That's the first authority of IJAW history, followed by Professor Alagwa through the Oyema Research Group that carried out a research from village to village across the Niger Delta in 1969, where the team was using cartridges and tape recorders to record history through the same oral tradition from those whom they think and they thought at that time had a better knowledge of telling their history from village to village, and then he was able to put that in writing and publish it in 1972. Later became a professor of Niger Delta history. He's 90-something years old.
Wow.
And I'm happy for him because what I have today is part of what I got from him, even though I was not his student. And people like Professor Tekena Tamno, Professor Okorobia, Professor Pupodam Nambo, who incidentally was my lecturer. They opened my historical inner years and historical analysis through the study of historiography. But according to Onaru's accounts, was among the senior sons. He was the first son of IJAW. And according to him, he traced IJAW to the Yoruba, the Ile-Ife tradition, where he said IJAW's name originally was Ojo, and he was the first son of Oduduwa, and that he was the crown prince. And a time came, he became so powerful that even when the father had not died, he was becoming too authoritarian that even passers-by would tell them to kneel down and prostrate and greet him when his father was still on the throne. Father got angry and he said one day the father asked him to stop that, and he said no, he cannot stop it. So they have to challenge themselves for a duel battle. And they fought for 2 days and nobody was injured. And the father said, you have to leave this kingdom. 2 kings cannot rule a kingdom. You have to leave.
Wow.
But where you are going, you will see a crown that will be prepared by river goddesses. That's where you will establish your kingdom. Wow. They said that's Onaru's account. That's how IJAW left Ile-Ife.
Wow.
And if you ask me, is this assertion true? I say no. Why do I say no? Because IJAW language and Yoruba language does not have any affinity. Professor Kerry Williamson, an American or a Briton, I cannot recall well, but it's not a Nigerian, came and naturalized in Kayama and did an in-depth study of African languages. That's what we try to scrabble from books here and there. And Professor Kerry Williamson posited that IJAW language is older than every other Nigerian language by 10,000 years.
Yes, yes.
So if we are from Oduduwa, why don't we belong to one language family? And I make bold to tell you that the IJAW language don't belong to any other language family in Nigeria. IJAW language and the Congo language, which is not a part of this country, are the ones that fall under one country, one language family.
Congo.
You study theater arts.
Yes, sir.
The language, the sentence structure of IJAW language is subject, object, verb. English language is subject, verb, object.
Yes.
IJAW language is SOV.
Subject, object, verb.
While English language is subject, verb, object. So every other Nigerian language is subject, verb, object. For instance, in IJAW, if you say John killed the goat, goat is the object, killed is the verb, John is the subject. IJAW will say John Oboribami. John is subject, Obori is object, that's O, Ba is verb. So how do you convince me that my language that is older than your language by 10,000 years, you are saying that your ancestor gave birth to me? Never. It is not acceptable. But something close to that can be adduced. Well, when I'm talking on social media, they will say, who is this man? I have said it to anybody who carry my name, they just say Negbusu will go and fight with you. Something closer to it can be adduced by virtue of what a village chronicle, not my father this time, but Pa Funfun Okiakpe posited in 1969 when Professor Alagwa visited Igbadiwei and asked him, where do Gbaran people come from? And they told him that Gbaran came from Mecca and passed through several places to this place.
Wow.
He was able to mention the book parable and settle in the place. Alagwa analyzed that Gbaran people have lived so long that they have forgotten their past. That's what Alagwa concluded. And I make bold to say that Alagwa was right, but I align myself more with that of the version of Pa Funfun Okiakpe, the village chronicle, who says that Gbaran came from Mecca. Why do I say so? The origin of the Yorubas is that when Islam was introduced to Mecca, the area they call Mecca is not the present day Mecca, Egypt, Arabia, that blah blah blah, committing. Lamrudu, Oduduwa's grandfather, refused to accept the religion, and so he was driven away. It's through the divination that they got to the present place. That's one version. The other version said the earth was with the flood, then they came from heaven. Nobody used to fall from heaven. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Now, if some people say they are from Mecca, because they refuse to accept Islam. And another Gbara man is also saying Gbara is from Mecca. Then there are a lot of questions to still ask in that regard.
Yes.
However, I've established that the Yoruba version of the history is not acceptable by us. Now, that's what I've said. But this year also, during the most famous and the most celebrated Amazigma Festival of the Gbara Dynasty, hosted, promoted, sponsored, owned by the Gbaramadu people, the most colorful.
Yes.
I challenge any other IJAW clan to say their own is better. It's not because of pride, it's because of IJAW people's belief in unity and traditional belief in believing the new renaissance of IJAW cultural heritage. The Oni of Ife visited Gbaramadu Kingdom.
Yes.
The Dane of Agbo has visited Gbaramadu Kingdom before. Several emirs have visited Gbaramadu Kingdom before. And when he visited in one of his speech, he said, IJAW and Yoruba are from one source. I heard him. He said so.
They are from one source.
He said they are from one source. That means we still
do a story.
No, I don't want to conclude that. I'm a scholar,
Okay.
even though I'm not. It then means we still have still enough things to do research and find, ask questions. We don't need to conclude we are this, we are that, and that, and that. But linguistically, I've told you that we are not. Secondly, I tell you, look at our culture. Culturally, do we look like any other Nigerian ethnic group?
Not at all. We are different.
Yeah. Excuse me. Every other Nigerian ethnic group is good. There are people, they love their own, and they just have to love their own because that's their identity.
Yes.
And to us as IJAW people, do you have anyone like our own?
No. We are the best.
Check our dress code.
Our attire. Just take a look.
Just check our dress code.
Our food.
We are mentioning them. Our poetry. Our midnight stories. Our moonlight stories. The lyrics in our songs. Our dirge during wake keep. Our masquerade songs. Tells you the interconnectedness we have with nature.
Yes, yes.
Our masquerade dances, steps are known to anyone. The cosmic beings in the sea speak, we hear them. Those in the forest talk, we understand them. When the thunder want to strike and they talk to IJAW people, those who are gifted understand them. We just look at us. Can you survive this terrible and hostile environment we live? If you are not in line, or if you are not in love, or if you are not part of the environment, the cosmos, the nature of that place, can you survive the flood we suffer every year? Even our land every day is depreciating.
The water we drink.
They are siphoning the oil in our land, and our land, the height of our land is decreasing and the flood is increasing.
But we keep trying.
Nobody has solution to it, but do you think we are perturbed? Do you think we are worried? The flood will come and go. Job will still stay. And we'll talk to the sea goddess and the sea god. He will take the flood away. If it happened to some places in this country, cholera will kill all of them.
They can't survive.
We own this place. That's another thing. Despite government oppression, we're not perturbed. our spirit of resilience and the courage we have shows that I don't think we migrated from any place. We are aborigines of this place. We own this place. Instead, people migrated from out of us. The Atlantic Ocean is where we are bordering. Don't forget the continent of Atlantis and the continent of Lemura. Metaphysics. Thinking God as man only, without thinking God as both man and woman, destroyed one of them. So it happened to Lemura and Atlantis. We are the survivors of the Atlantic Ocean. Those magnificent buildings you see, the mysteries of this world, the pyramids in Egypt, built by pharaohs like Akhenaten, who came with the first man on earth to say the concept of one God. Akhenaten. So I'm a German. There were no white people, there were black people. Science cannot unravel how the architect built those pyramids. In the Kemetic civilization, you will see Job people there. The Egyptians called the sun god Ra. The Job people called the sun Ora. And in Gbaram, telling you that we are the first son, if you want to reverse your course, your destiny on this planet, Earth, there's a process, a spiritual ritual where you'll be asked to look at the sun and it will be reversed. That's what we call Tamara Bare. That is when you talk to God. When our mother, Tamara, the mother creator, and when I started first, I gave her the titles. Come and change my destiny. So only people that has it.
Wow.
That does not mean the other job will are not human beings.
Yes.
All of them are either our younger brothers, our nephews, our grandchildren, our cousins. They are also blessed in their own way.
And they are all Jews.
That's one. You have taken me too far. I told you that I don't want to talk too far, but I prayed before I'm talking. Secondly, why do we separate? Why do we separate? If God give wisdom and knowledge to a people without loving, caring, sharing, they can use their knowledge. Your knowledge can destroy you. If you don't have respect, now, look at my brother here. I introduce him to you as an authority of mass communication. That's to give him the respect. Anywhere I err, I will consult him. I've written a piece, I've given to him to edit. That's how people live. But if you think what you know is more than every other person, it can destroy you. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So, what happened can only be told in parables, because you are not an initiate to know the sacred codes of the deities and the gods of your nation. What separated us is just pepper soup. Pepper soup. Duika pepper soup. That's what separated us. Because if it were himself, I can expose more than this. But for you, even Professor Lagwa, our fathers told him, doing pepper soup. And they just called one flour. Because the sacred code cannot be given to you. But if you are a king and you intervene me, I will reveal the sacred code to you. In my manuscript, they are there. I can explain the sacred code because I have the mandate. God's mandated me to do what I'm doing. But to you, you cannot be given that mandate. It is because of pepper soup. Food. And they better put survival of the fittest. So, where do we live before? One account says, all of us were in IJAW came to Igbadiwei. From Igbadiwei, Baram, Igbadiwei Empire fell because in Igbadiwei, the Oduduwa account of Ohunaru stated that when IJAW visited Igbadiwei, it was there the sea goddesses prepared the crown of cowries. He saw it there and said, yes, this is the place I'll be, and crowned himself.
Wow.
And when the time for him to go back to take the throne came, said, no, I found my own kingdom.
No going back.
The account also went further to say that there were crises. And one of the crises is not for you. It will be in our book. Okay. We are going to bring out that. Crisis took place and IJAW, the first son, took Baregbesu. Not then, it was not called Baregbesu. He took the Egbesu and all the titular divinities and left the place. Then there was also another son of IJAW, Ogbo. Ogbo took the Opugula and its titular divinities and also left. Now, Igbadiwei shares boundary with Ogbo clan, ancient Ogbo clan. Ogbo clan is where the ancestral headquarters was as a Samambo. A Samambo is in the forest of Owekura, Tarakiri, Ekibiri, Sembri, and then Amasoma. That forest, that was where Ogbo clan was. Igbadiwei was on the other side. But Bana took everything and left and crossed down to Buperebu and established himself there. As he established, his children were begging nonsense and no, I will not stay there. That's how I came to where we are. Your ancestors, Dr. Paul's ancestors, all of us are children of one man, grandchildren of one man. And I make bold to say, I've told Baram people, I've told everybody, if any Banaman say he gave birth to the children of Arubu, I say no. If any Banaman say he's the father of Banaman people, I say no. If any Banaman say he's the father of Uwe, I say no. We are of the same parents. But something happened.